What are the odds? 1 in a million? 1 in a billion? Today, we're about to meet people who defied those odds. People who should have died, but didn't. These are the luckiest survivors in human history. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will challenge everything you know about luck, fate, and human resilience. In 2016, at 25,000 feet above the Earth, skydivers were preparing for a routine jump. Everything was going perfectly, until it wasn't. Meet Jordan Lyles. He was an experienced skydiver with over 1,000 jumps under his belt. He'd done this hundreds of times before. But on this fateful day, his parachute wouldn't open. As he fell toward the ground at 120 miles per hour, Jordan had seconds to live. His reserve parachute? Tangled. His main parachute? Useless. Then, something impossible happened. He crashed directly into a carport. His body smashed through the wooden structure, breaking wooden beams on impact. The structure itself became his parachute, slowing his descent just enough to save his life. When he hit the ground, he was still alive. Jordan survived with serious injuries, a broken pelvis, internal bleeding, and severe trauma. But he lived. Against all odds. Against physics itself. Today, Jordan uses his story to inspire others. He calls himself the luckiest man alive, and for good reason. January 1972. A DC-10 aircraft was flying over Serbia. Everything aboard was normal: passengers reading, flight attendants serving drinks, pilots scanning instruments. Then came a decompression explosion. The cargo door suddenly blew open. The force was so violent that it ejected 11 people from the aircraft. Among them, Vesna Vulovic, a 23-year-old flight attendant. Vesna plummeted toward the Earth from 33,000 feet. That's 6.3 miles up. At that altitude, the air is so thin that humans cannot breathe. Temperatures drop to minus 50 degrees Celsius. By every law of physics and biology, Vesna should have died instantly. Her body crashed into a snowy slope in a dense forest. She landed on a metal seat from the aircraft, which cushioned her impact. Beneath her was snow, nature's shock absorber. When rescuers found her, Vesna was unconscious, but alive. She spent 27 days in a coma. When she woke up, doctors were astounded. A few broken bones, some lacerations, but no internal injuries. No spinal damage. Nothing permanent. Vesna Vulovic holds a Guinness World Record for the highest fall survived without a parachute. That record has stood for over 50 years. She lived to tell her story. And what a story it is. Not all survival stories involve heights or dramatic explosions. Sometimes, luck finds you in the most ordinary moments. On March 21, 1990, Craig Dunham was driving on a highway in New Mexico. He was heading home after work. It was a normal evening, or so he thought. A pickup truck crossed the center line. Head-on collision. Craig's car was completely destroyed. The impact crushed the vehicle like paper. First responders at the scene said no one could have survived this. The driver should have been killed instantly. But Craig had made one decision that saved his life. He had worn his seatbelt. In the 1990s, not everyone did. But Craig did. That single decision, a 3-second action that many people skipped, meant the difference between life and death. Craig suffered severe injuries, broken bones, internal bleeding, multiple fractures. But his life was saved by two things: his seatbelt and a miracle. When doctors examined him, they found that his heart had actually stopped during treatment. They performed CPR. They brought him back. Today, Craig is a spokesperson for safety. He travels the country telling people, wear your seatbelt. Just wear it. It doesn't take long, and it might save your life. And he knows this from personal experience. Sometimes, survival isn't about a single moment of impact. Sometimes, it's about endurance. It's about willpower. In 2006, Jose Salvador Alvarenga decided to go fishing. He was a fisherman off the coast of Mexico. It was a routine job: go out on the boat, catch fish, come home. But he made a mistake. He went out during bad weather. The forecast warned of a storm, but Jose went anyway. Along with his friend Ezekiel, he headed out to sea in a small fishing boat. The storm hit harder than expected. It destroyed their boat's engines. Their radio didn't work. They had no way to call for help. Jose and Ezekiel were adrift in the Pacific Ocean. They drifted for months. Not weeks. Not days. Months. Ezekiel didn't survive. He died during the ordeal, unable to withstand the hunger, dehydration, and despair. But Jose, he survived. For 438 days, nearly 15 months, Jose was adrift in the Pacific Ocean. He drank rainwater. He caught fish and ate them raw. He drank bird blood to stay alive. He watched seabirds land on his boat and survived by any means necessary. When he was finally rescued off the coast of Micronesia, Jose weighed only 85 pounds. He was barely alive. But he was alive. Jose survived 438 days at sea. That's longer than the Titanic took to sink. That's longer than most people spend on their annual vacation. He survived it all alone, with nothing but determination. 4 stories. 4 people. One common thread: they didn't give up. Jordan Lyles fell from the sky and lived. Vesna Vulovic fell 6.3 miles and survived. Craig Dunham walked away from a fatal crash. Jose Salvador Alvarenga drifted through hell and made it home. What do they teach us? That the human spirit is incredible. That determination matters. That luck exists, yes, but so does resilience, willpower, and the refusal to accept defeat. These people aren't just the luckiest alive. They're the strongest. They're survivors. And their stories will inspire you to survive whatever challenges come your way. Have you ever survived something impossible? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible survival stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.